All right, today we're doing the test 2.3 review, and you might be saying he usually doesn't do test review videos because I let you do it on your own in review. But one thing I want to do is show you how to use the Desmos calculator because a lot of y'all have been contacting me saying it doesn't work. But I'm going to show you what to do on it and how to get the answers for the graph attributes at least. All right, so number one, we have x squared plus 2x minus 3. All right, it's right here. So if I back out, hopefully this works. Let's see. And I go to Desmos. All right. Right here, this box, all we do is type in x. Then down here, you see this little keyboard. Hit the a squared to make x squared. Then plus 2x minus 3. All right. And then we have our parabola. This is what it's supposed to look like. All right. And then let me click back. Of course, the first question was the domain. The domain is always negative infinity to infinity or all real numbers. You might see that on the test. You might see it say all real numbers. That's the answer. The range is the y value. So let's click back. We have a lowest possible point, which is right here. All right. And it even tells you it's -1, -4. We're going to need that later. But the lowest possible y value is -4. Oops, it went away. But the lowest possible y value, if we look, is -4. So we know the lowest possible range is -4, and it goes up because they're arrows. It goes all the way up to infinity. So the range is -4 hard bracket. All right, it looks like this. -4 hard bracket all the way up to infinity, and infinity is soft bracket. All right. The vertex, going back to Desmos, the vertex is the highest or lowest point. So again, we look here. The lowest possible point is -1, -4. There's our vertex. All right. Scroll down the axis of symmetry, which is the x value of the vertex. The x value of the vertex is -1. There's another answer. All right. Then our solutions, we know if you listen to my other videos, we know solutions mean x-intercept, roots, or zeros. So we just find where does it cross x? At -3, 0, and at 1, 0. So those two are our solutions. All right. Where does it cross x? Those are our solutions, -3, 0, and 1, 0. And then finally, the y-intercept is the last thing to do. We click over. Where does it cross y? It crosses y at 0, -3. All right, and that's it. That's all you need to get the answers. So I know Desmos is usable, it's doable. So on the test tomorrow, there should be no reason why I'm getting emails saying I can't do it. That's how you use Desmos to find graph attributes. All right, let me review a little bit more. Find the attributes of the following quadratic equations. So we have 2x plus 1 squared minus 2. The vertex, we know if A is on the outside, if A is positive, the parabola faces up, and the vertex is a minimum. All right, if it faces down, I can't draw today. If it faces down, that means it's negative, and it's a maximum. So for number one, we see it's positive, so it's a minimum graph. And the vertex, again, all we look is at this number and this number. The number inside the parentheses is our first number. It goes here, but we flip the sign. So we see it's x plus 1. So when we write it here, it's -1. Remember, inside parentheses tells a lie. And then secondly, our second number that's outside, it tells the truth, -1, -2. The axis of symmetry is -1. All right. Number 5, we have a negative on the outside, so immediately we can circle maximum. Then we have a -3 on the inside, which changes to +3, and then a +3 on the outside, which stays the same, and the axis of symmetry is 3. Continue on. We have a negative on the outside here. It's another maximum. We have a +1 on the inside, which becomes -1. And a +6 on the outside, which stays 6. And then the axis of symmetry is -1. All right. I'll let you finish the other one by yourself. All right. And then on number 10, this is the last one, or this is one of the last ones I'll do. Number 10, please don't forget, on this one, we're not just saying what's negative or positive or what the vertex is. We are writing it in vertex form. All right, and vertex form is what we just saw. Let me show you. Just all up here. 4 through 9 is vertex form. So there's a number on the outside, A, and then X minus H plus K. So all we need to do is find the vertex. We are assuming these graphs aren't stretched or compressed, so there's nothing to write on the outside except a negative. If it's negative, this will make sense in a sec. So f of x equals, there's no number on the outside. Since it faces up, there's no negative on the outside. So we immediately start our parentheses, x, and then this, and then this vertex is right 2, up 4.
Good. A lot of famous things.
Alright, so we continue on. Sorry about that, y'all. So the vertex is right 2, which is positive 2, and then up 4. So our vertex is 2, comma 4. How do we write that in the vertex form? Well, we know the first number goes inside the parentheses, but we flip the sign. Please don't forget to flip the sign. X minus 2 squared, don't forget the squared, and then plus 4. And we're done. That's it. Alright, it's not as simple as just writing the vertex. The vertex isn't the answer. You need to put it in this equation. All right, I'm going to do number 12 real quick because it's the opposite way. All right, so f of x equals, we know right away, since it's facing down, it is negative. So you write the negative, and then x, let's find the vertex. The vertex is here, and that is right 3. That's a positive 3. Make sure you look at the number. Right 3, and then up 4. So it's 3, comma 4. So how do we write that in vertex form? X minus 3 squared plus 4. And that's it. All right? So make note of that. Rewatch this if you need to. I'm going to do one more down here for the review. And then we'll be done. Write the vertex form from the standard form below. All right, step 1, we know x equals negative b over 2a. All right. Now, one thing I want to make note, I said it on the video, I said it to my face-to-face students, I want to say it to you again. If b is negative, it's not just one negative in this equation. It's not just going to be negative 18. No, since the equation itself has a negative, that's going to be 2 negatives. All right. So x equals negative 18, all right, over 2 times a, which a is negative 3. All right, so that becomes a positive 18, because a negative times a negative is a positive, over negative 6. X equals negative 3, because 18 divided by negative 6 is negative 3. Now, we plug it back in, negative 3 x squared minus 18 x minus 29. All right, and then we plug x, which was negative 3, in everywhere where x is. So negative 3 times negative 3 squared minus 18 times negative 3 minus 29. All right, and then finally, we do the exponent first. We do PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. All right, we have 2 that are in parentheses, but we have 1 that's an exponent. So negative 3 squared is a positive 9. Please don't forget that. Negative 3 times 9, sorry. Minus, so negative 18 times 3. Negative 18 times a negative 3 is a positive 54. All right. Negative 3 times 9 is a negative 27. Okay. So negative 27 plus 54 minus 29. All right. It is when you combine all those, so negative 27 plus 54 minus 29 equals negative 2. All right, make sure you do that in the calculator just to check and make sure. But that equals y. So now we put it all together. Again, we're following the steps. So here's our vertex form. F of x equals, now this time we're not doing it from a graph, so we're not just assuming that a in the equation, the outside number, it's not just 1. Okay, according to our steps on our video notes and on our notes, it says whatever a is, I'm back over here, whatever a is in standard form, it's the same in vertex form. So we put that -3 here in parentheses x. We see x is a -3. So when we put it in parentheses, it's x plus 3 squared. And then finally, y is -2. And we're done. Okay? It shouldn't be too hard. Just make sure you follow the steps. All right? And don't forget, back here, I'm looking back here at this -18. If b is negative already, and you're writing the equation x equals -b, it should be negative, whatever b is. So 2 negatives. But if this had been a plus 18, it would have just been 1 negative. So -18. All right. And that's everything for the review. Again, the first part, make sure you use the decimals calculator. Part 2 and 3 should be really easy. Just don't forget, when you're doing the graphs, you're writing it in vertex form. You're not just finding the vertex or guessing positive, negative. You're writing the vertex form. And then this one, you're solving, you're doing a little bit of math, and then you're also writing it in vertex form. All right, so y'all should be ready for the test.